And the man in question in that report by Francis Gashuri joins me now. Good evening, Happy New Year.
Good evening, Yvonne.
Thanks for speaking with me tonight. So just to confirm, you are still the Member of Parliament for Gatundu South constituency?
Yes, unless you have got information to the contrary.
So you still have a job tonight?
Yeah, I was really surprised by that kind of, gutter media from the Star newspaper and from KTN. And sorry to mention, other media houses in a media house, but this is really below par, and it's very surprising because this is not the journalism we know, whereby you can get any information from the streets, and then you go ahead to publish it without authentication, without comment. It's really what Thomas Baldwin referred to as a prerogative of the harrods. Okay. The exercise of power without responsibility.
All right. Let's talk about, what started off this whole storm. And this is about your statements on the eve of the new year. And you apologized again today. And even in your statement, you say that speech was directed at the Kiambu County leadership?
Indeed. These were very localized issues. And my problem with Kiambu leadership was on the optics. Because reality and optics, perception, are equally important. And even what fuels some of this feeling like something is not happening is the diary of the head of state is very important. And people from Kiambu County have been waiting for this visit for a very long time. So it was my feeling, especially my governor and my women rep, that we could have managed the diary of the president better. And they were the ones in charge of that. So as to give some optimism and some hope to the people of Kiambu that indeed something is happening. So it was more about optics, but I think it came out not in the way it was intended. I believe that this issue has been blown out of context.
So this was not about the president? This was about Kiambu leadership?
It was about Kiambu leadership.
But let's listen, Moses, to a bit of that clip. And here you speak in mother tongue, and we've transcribed it for our viewers. Let's listen to that. So in that clip, not once but twice, you actually call...
Can we review it in
you call the head of state, you call on him, and you say how you were in Kisumu and you launched roads.
Okay, let's divide this.
But then when he came to Kiambu County...
I'm giving you the option we do the analysis in Kikuyu, so that we don't get lost in translation. But anyhow, there's no contradiction with what I'm saying. Because what we are saying is, one, we call the head of state. We are calling him to give us certificate for alcoholism and all that. I'm saying, let us call the head of state to open for us roads. Let us call him to open for us water projects. Yeah,
but it goes contrary to your statement that your speech that was directed at the Kiambu County leadership.
I was telling them, who is calling the head of state? It's the Kiambu leadership. So I am telling Kiambu leadership, and I'm really, sympathizing, because, again, you can't get the context because, you may not understand that particular language. So I am telling the Kiambu leadership, let us invite the head of state to open these things. Yeah? And if we don't do that, he will even take us as not very serious people.
So this is not about skewed development in your view?
No.
Do you think Mount Kenya is... disadvantaged and has been disadvantaged since 2013, because even after the president made the remarks that he made that have angered some people, you then had a rejoinder and you said you agreed with the president 100%, but that, what is happening, there's not enough development in Mount Kenya region. Do you believe it's skewed?
There are three functions of a member of parliament: representation, oversight, and legislation. As part of representation, and that's why we have got physical constituencies. Unlike in South Africa, where we have got, members of parliament not representing particular constituencies. So as a member of parliament, I represent people from a certain region. And that's why we have got 290 constituencies in this country. So that every member from every corner will say, give me development in my particular area.
Do you believe
does that preclude
not in favor of
another region? Yeah, does that preclude development for another region? No. And that's where I'm totally agreeing with the president. We need to have development all over the country. But now, me, in my situation, I ask for development in my area. The member for Rangoe, where I was the other day, Dr. Lilian Gogo, he said, we want development in Rangoe. Another one from Narok will say, we want development in Narok.
So just to be clear, you do not feel that Mount Kenya region has been disadvantaged?
Who doesn't want more? I want more for my region.
Do you feel it's been disadvantaged in the country?
I want more for my region. I do believe that generally we have got a problem in the formula for resource sharing in this country, whereby you find Ruiru constituency, for example, with 160,000 voters, and member for Ruiru, the Honorable Simon Kingara, gets the same CDF with my very good friend, Honorable Aden Duale, who represents some 17,000 people. Really? Are the people of Ruiru ever going to get the same bursary, for example, with the good people of Garissa town? So there's some issues here. And that's what I'm calling even historical injustices. And we need to get down to the root of this matter.
Okay.
And ask, how can I look at a student, a needy student from Ruiru, who can only get 2,000 shillings in bursary, and tell them that there is equitability between you and a student from Garissa. So by the way, I know of some members of parliament who gave 500,000 shillings bursary for a student to study abroad. If I ever give 500,000 shillings to a student in Katudu South, the whole, how many can you be able to give?
Let's talk about this, because you said, Mheshimiwa, that your speech was directed at Kiambu County leadership. Yeah. I'd like us to listen to what previous leadership of Kiambu County, that's the former Governor Kabogo, had to say about your statements, about your remarks.
And they're telling the president, you have shortchanged us. But when they're in Kamukunji, in parliament, with the president in the party, what do they discuss? You get my frustration, Jeff. We saw them in a Kamukunji even before the president was sworn in.
Yeah.
What is it they were discussing? Why didn't they tell him then, we here in this mountain region, we lack ABCD. When you bring your finance plan for this year, please include this. And if you don't, you'll have a hard time. We will not pass your budget.
Have you had a chance to tell the president your needs?
Before I even answer that question, let's look at Kabogo. For the 5 years he was governor, all the money he was getting, almost like half of it, was going to paying salaries, which he inherited from the former county council. Not once did he speak about this issue. Perhaps if he would have started within his tenure as governor of Kiambu, he wouldn't even have to ask us to discuss this issue of resource allocation with the president. And so no wonder he was given some roses by Kiambu voters in the election. He was voted out. Now here he is, pretending to be Caesar's wife and lecturing us on what we should be telling the president. And a guy who, all these, I'm calling them historical issues.
All right.
But now to come to your question.
Moses, but just to address what he says, have you spoken to the president?
We do.
And even as you were talking to the leaders in that clip that is now quite infamous, the very head of Kiambu County leadership is right behind you, Governor Waititu.
Correct.
Did you have these conversations with him, or was this playing to the gallery to say...
And even look at it, you look at it, even part of what my speech has been missed out deliberately by the media anyway, that I said Kiambu County is now receiving 8 billion as revenue allocation. Turkana County is receiving 12 billion. Who should know that better? Why should I have to tell Waititu? He's one who is wearing the shoe. He's one who should be feeling the pinch of that shoe. And I'm surprised that I never had Kabogo as well, for the 5 years that he was governor, complain.
Have you told this to the president? Because many raised issues with the way you did it in terms of decorum.
We have, and let people not use the, because this is a whole confusion that people are trying to use here. We have had our opportunity as a Mount Kenya Parliamentary Caucus, for which I have played a very major role to put together. And we have presented these issues to the head of state, just like Governor Paranya led the people of Western. Kalonzo Musyoka was in State House with people from Mukambani. So yes, we did get our opportunity to present these issues.
Okay,
yeah?
Here's a quick one. As we finish, you say your life is in danger. By whom and why? Well,
I've been getting some sort of funny calls. And I'm not saying that these are real issues, but I never take anything for granted. All I did, like a law-abiding Kenyan, is talk to the DCI. And I've got a lot of confidence in the DCI, or people telling you, you read up like JM Karaoke, or, all these things. But it is that season of madness. In the season of madness, you never know who is talking the truth, who is not talking the truth. So it's not an issue which should even be taken to that particular level. My life is in danger. I have just been saying that some mischievous people, opportunistic people, are taking advantage of this to pass all manner of threats, subtle, some very overt. And I want to leave it at that. It's not an issue that, do you know me as a coward? Certainly not.
And the president's
nobody
remarks,
will die twice anyway.
And the president's remarks saying, it'll be everywhere. I mean, I know there's a number of your compatriots, fellow MPs, who have taken issue with his statements. No. What did you think about him?
I welcome it. And I say
But about him using the word Bashenzi, because we know there's a number of other MPs
I think it's neither here nor there. Yeah? No, really, no. It's neither here nor there. And other leaders use worse words, And I think he has also been taken out of context. And I don't believe in any way that he meant Mount Kenya people or Mount Kenya voters or the way it is.
Or yourself?
It could be myself, and maybe rightly so, because he has a right to be annoyed with me. Yeah, my words were taken out of context.
Have you apologized to him directly?
Yes, I did.
Have you spoken to him?
Yes, I have. Well, at least I have communicated with him. Spoken is between me and him. But he's a man I have worked with for a long time. And for the issue of him opening projects, also, I have today invited the Honorable Raila Odinga to come and open with me a road in Gatundu. Okay. And I think you'll see that happening.
And he won't be signing the certificates that you didn't like?
Yes, he will not. I promise you that I will not invite him to give a certificate. And I'm not saying that we should not fight alcoholism. Okay. But I'm just saying that the optics need to set hope and optimism to our people.
Okay. And uplifting recovering alcoholics isn't
I'm saying it is very important, but it likes at number 14 in my optics priority list.
All right. Honorable Moses Kuria, Gatundu South constituency Member of Parliament, confirms he is still MP, says he has spoken with the President, and they've mended fences. We can only take your word for that. Thank you very much for speaking with us.